All right, we are back. It's time to talk madness on the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John, our special guest Robert Patrick Lewis, and our Mr. Sports, Hans. Hopefully you're on the line, right?
Yeah, hey guys, how are you?
Good, man. Are you at a sports bar watching the games, I hope?
I am not. I'm currently at the Bellagio.
Oh, even worse. All right, tell me, goaltending or not?
Ultimately, I don't think it was.
All right, so let's talk. Okay, UCLA, and who was it? It was
SMU.
SMU. Now, SMU was a 6 seed. UCLA was an 11 seed. UCLA didn't even deserve to be in the tournament, but I guess I was wrong about that because they actually won. Coming down, they're down by 2, right?
Yes.
Okay, guy jacks up a prayer three-pointer with almost no time left. And the SMU player grabs the ball. Now, where he grabbed the ball, was it on its way down? Was it over the cylinder? Did it have a chance to go in? Was the big question, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, they called it goaltending, gave him 3 points. UCLA goes on to win the game. That is a gift. I do not think it was goaltending.
But in the time, it was the right call. It all happened so fast.
How can you say it was the right call?
Because how can you prove it wasn't? I mean, unless you go back into the replay, you can't overturn a call like that. You can only call it a 2 or a 3 after.
Right. Well, you can't overturn it on replay, but, okay, the rule is, because I saw this morning, the rule is the ball has to have a chance of going in.
Yeah.
Okay? And the guy was shooting it from the left side, and it was picked up or interfered with on the right side of the basket. So he had already overshot the basket. It had no shot at going in.
Yeah.
There you go. There's my argument. But it doesn't matter. So, wow, you agree with me. All right,
I agree with you.
All right.
The only reason why I'm agreeing with you is because I actually have UCLA going into the Sweet 16. So I'll take it as a win.
Okay, so biggest upset so far?
It's got to be the number 3 seeds.
Yeah. Who are they? Who's out already?
Iowa State and Baylor.
Iowa State and Baylor. Thank you for that.
And unfortunately, John, I'm sorry.
My bracket was busted after. That was the second game yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
My bracket was busted after the second game. I had Iowa State going to the final against Kentucky, and they lost, and I'm done. I'm still gonna win though.
And I had UCLA beating Iowa State.
Once again, okay. That's why you're Mr. Sports. I'm just the radio host. Okay, you're the paid expert. Any upsets today?
Not that I've seen so far.
Okay, I'm not going to ask you the score of the game that I really want to be watching.
And that's fine with me.
Will I be? Is it halftime yet?
It is not. Will
I be happy?
You should be.
Okay, that's all that matters. Obviously, we're talking about the Maryland game. I'm an alum, and I'm sitting here patiently doing the radio show because Doug can't be here, and I didn't think it would be fair for me to go, no, I'm out because I want to go watch basketball.
Exactly.
And the station won't let us do a live remote anywhere. So we could do it from my house. I told them we could do it from my house. We do it from your house, Hans.
We could do it from the Bellagio.
Do it from the Bellagio. Next year, we're going to do a live remote from somebody's house watching basketball in the sun by the pool. It's not a bad idea. All right, so the best game you saw yesterday, the team that you think has got a chance to beat Kentucky as of yesterday.
I'm trying not to be biased here, but I really do think Arizona.
Really? They've got to get by. Okay, so let's review. Arizona played yesterday.
Yes.
They beat Texas Southern, right?
Yes, they beat Texas Southern, and I guess unfortunately they didn't cover.
They did not cover the spread. Not that we would condone gambling.
Not at all.
I bet we wouldn't condone gambling if we, Anyway, they didn't cover the spread, but they played. Did they play okay? I thought they played pretty well.
They played well. I mean, to score 93 points in the opening game of a tournament.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. I mean, that was ultimately trumped by Villanova.
Yeah.
But you expect something like that from Villanova.
Yeah. Has there? I was watching earlier today. There seem to be a lot of flagrant fouls, a lot of really hard plays.
Well, it comes tournament time, and everybody's going to have a passion to play in this tournament, so that's why you see, I think there was roughly 7 one-point games yesterday.
Yeah, I know. Crazy, I don't think there were a lot of upsets, but there were a lot of really close games yesterday.
I mean, I'm sure Notre Dame will take the win anytime, winning by 4 like that.
Yeah, Notre Dame a 3 seed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Almost all the 3 seeds that play yesterday lost.
Wow, that's just crazy. But it's still. Do you still think it's Kentucky's tournament to win?
Honestly, no. I don't think that. Calipari, I watched an interview before the tournament started. I think it was on Selection Sunday, and he said, at this point it doesn't matter because everybody's got the same record, 0-0.
Yeah, that's a good point. But they can go 10 players deep.
They can go 10 players deep.
Most teams are lucky to go like 2 or 3 players
but
deep.
They could also have an off day. And, a team that's underrated, like let's just throw out there like a Utah or someone like that who has like a veteran scorer, a senior leadership, and let's say they're Kentucky's backcourt or the Harrison twins or whoever doesn't have a good day shooting, and let's say shoots in the 30 or 40 percentage.
Yeah.
It doesn't work out for them.
Well, let's say, they play Maryland in the Sweet 16. That could, that's not going to happen. I don't see too many people beating Kentucky. I think one of the better games of the tournament, if the seedings hold, is going to be Arizona or Wisconsin.
I agree with that, and that's a matchup of last year.
Yeah, and that's a rematch, which
that's
I think
a matchup of an overtime game, and Wisconsin won.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Still a little sour for me.
I can tell you're hurt. I had to bring it up on purpose.
Yeah, I do.
Like you expected me not to. But no, it's. I think it's interesting. So your bracket's still alive, I take it.
My bracket is well alive. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good news. What do you think? Oh, wait a minute. Doug's not here. You know what we can do? We got like a couple seconds left before I have to take a break, and we'll hold you on after the break. But you know what we can do right now, Hans? We've never been able to do this before because Doug has always been here. What about Chelsea?
Ooh.
I know. We can actually talk English Premier League soccer. We've never been able to do that because Doug will be like, "Oh, we can't talk soccer."
You know what? I unfortunately I'm a little depressed, to be honest, only because of our early exit from the Champions League.
How could we do that? It was silly. The Champions League, in case most people don't know, is they take the champions from all these European leagues and they put them in this one cool little tournament. And and there's pools, and the thing that I don't like about it is that in soccer you have to appreciate. You either like it or you don't. Okay, if you don't like it, fine. If you like it, then sometimes even a 1-1 game is probably the most exciting thing you've seen ever. All right, it's not American football, and I love football too, but it's the way they do this tournament is they play one leg at home and one leg away. All right, so it's 2 games, and if it's tie, they go to somehow away goals are more important.
Yeah, and the way that I like to explain it to people is it's probably the second most prestigious tournament behind the World Cup.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
And it's basically Europe's version of March Madness, but it's like kind of a year-long thing.
Yeah. Wow. That's really neat. All right. Hans, when we come back, we promise we won't talk soccer anymore, all right? Sorry, but Doug's going to put us on probation, I'm sure.
He probably will.
Yeah. All right, more March Madness when we come back, right? You'll give us an update on some scores?
Of course.
All right. You're listening to Gazette Radio with Doug and John and our special guest, Robert Patrick Lewis. And, of course, Hans, Mr. Sports, on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station. All right, we are back, and you do need to know because it's now on March Madness scoreboard with our buddy Hans. That's the Gazette Radio with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS. We have our special guest host, Robert Patrick Lewis. Thanks once again for coming in. Interesting stuff, scary stuff.
I'm gonna have to come in with like a rainbow story one day.
Yeah, exactly. What about puppy dogs or kittens that you could put on Facebook or something?
Yeah, I know, and that's I just at some point I really wish I could just forget that I knew all this stuff. And that's you talk about that. So the military background, the author thing, and the investment advisor. And that's the worst combination because you can kind of see the clouds coming on any one of those.
Well, I guess if you sold life insurance part-time in your spare time, that would probably add to the worstness of it. The worstness?
I don't know. People can get pretty happy.
Or you could practice law and do all that stuff at the same time. Then you'd really be in trouble. All right, let's go back to sports with Hans. Hans.
Yes, sir.
All right, so scoreboard today. Who do we got so far? With the exception, as a public service, we will not announce the Maryland score.
Okay, so there's only 2 current games playing.
Okay.
One of them is Maryland, so we'll not talk about that. The other game is 4-seed Louisville against 13-seed UCI, and it's currently a 1-point game with halfway through the second half.
UC Irvine?
UC Irvine.
Are there any flags at the game?
Oh, there we go. We didn't even get into that one. They banned the American flag?
It's ridiculous.
That's just silly. If they like it so much elsewhere, go home.
And let me just say, if Louisville ends up losing to UCI, that will kill my bracket. I
can only hope then. Okay, I'm rooting for the anteaters. There was actually, I saw this on Facebook, Hans. I don't know whether you did. There was an alumni tournament. What they did is they took the alumni, the best alumni from each of the schools. Okay. And they put them up head-to-head against the other best alumni. So, like, you see Irvine, I know University of Maryland, our best alumni is probably Jim Henson from the Muppets, no lie, okay? Or the guy who founded Under Armour. It's also a Maryland alumni.
Really?
Oh, really?
So I was like, okay, and they put him up against, Harvard, You know, and I think Maryland ended up losing to, I want to say, some weird team like Arkansas or something.
Why? Because you got Jerry Jones or something?
Yeah, exactly. It was some weird thing. I'm like, people really need a hobby?
You know, Mitt Romney, I just heard this. Mitt Romney is doing a celebrity boxing tournament with, who is it? I can't remember who, but it's somebody Holyfield, yeah. If he taps him once, it's got to be a joke. It's got to be some kind of big fluffy gloves or something.
Is Joe Biden on the undercard?
I would pay to see that. I would pay to see Evander punch Joe.
It's Joe Biden and Mike Tyson.
Once.
Joe Biden versus Mike Tyson, and then the winners meet, right?
Yeah. then we all win.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so UC Irvine is holding on against Louisville. What were there no upsets today so far?
Not particularly.
So that means West Virginia beat Buffalo. That probably killed a lot.
That ended up coming close. Buffalo had a chance to win it, and then they missed a field goal attempt at the end.
That's good, because I don't want anybody to say that Maryland's not going to beat the best teams on their way to the Final Four championship. Yeah.
I thought Maryland was crab cakes in football. I didn't know that.
No, it's actually, for the longest time, and I think they just recently changed this, nobody here will know this except me. Nobody will care, probably, except me. The state sport of Maryland, believe it or not, you know, Maryland's known for, like, lacrosse and fishing.
Can I take a guess?
Take a guess.
For some reason, like all I can think about is horseshoes.
Nope.
Croquet.
You would think horse racing with the Preakness and Pimlico and everything.
Fencing.
Nope. Jousting. No lie. They actually set up tournaments where you ride with a little lance on your horse, and they have a little round donut thing, and you get a point for each time you hook the little donut.
I've been getting pretty big into Game of Thrones lately, so
and you know jousting.
I could do that.
They're probably all from Maryland. Yeah. Just what you need, jousting at Maryland. No, we do crab cakes. We do crab cakes very well. All right, Hans, so coming up tonight, we've got, well, wait a minute. Who's UCLA? UCLA is playing who next round? They play tomorrow.
They will play Georgia. No, I don't know why.
Yeah, I know. I'm drawing a blank, too. Okay, so they're not playing Arizona. Well, they're not in Arizona's bracket. They're going to have to play.
Well, Arizona lucked out because we'll get Ohio State, and if we win that, then we'll get the winner of Xavier and Georgia State.
Oh, so you've got a nice easy path to Wisconsin. Is this the best time of year or what? If you really like college basketball, this is the best time of year. All right, so who's UCLA's next opponent? I don't even remember. I'm drawing blanks. All right, so tomorrow's games, anything that we should be looking forward to?
You know, I'm actually very excited for Utah-Georgetown.
I thought Georgetown was going to lose.
Did you?
I did. I didn't like Georgetown. I thought Eastern Washington has got the highest scoring player in NCAA this year.
One thing, I mean, this is just kind of unanimous, and I think a lot of coaches and critics of college basketball will agree with me here. But it's very valuable to have a pure scorer come March.
Well, it's guard play.
It really is. And Georgetown, you have Devontae Rivera-Smith, and then you have, for Utah, Delon Wright.
Yeah.
So you can just trade buckets, and it's basically going to be a one-on-one.
Yeah, it should be an interesting game. It's always fun to watch the different styles that people can play and how you get into these tournament games and you have to dictate your style. You have to be able to, like, hey, look, I'm a running team. I want to be a running team, and I don't care if you're a slow-down team. The team that dictates their will usually wins.
And to throw this out there, UCLA will play UAB.
That's right. The other team that I thought was going to lose, too.
So I want to say, for the record, I'm one of the believers who believe that UCLA should not have been in the tournament, but because of how the bracket played out, they will move on.
They're going to get into the Sweet 16.
They lucked out with where they were located in the brackets.
You're making a lot of people happy.
Yeah, don't go to dinner in downtown LA tonight. I don't think if anybody hears that, they're not going to.
I agree with you. I don't think they should have made the tournament based upon their resume.
But for now, eight clap trumps fight on. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I didn't see USC in the tournament.
I mean, not for.
So, all right, Kentucky or UConn women? Who's a bigger lock?
I think UConn women.
Yeah, I don't think it's even close.
Honestly, I don't even have Kentucky in my championship game.
Yeah, well, that's you.
No, I honestly think, I mean, not with Cincinnati. They won't have a hard time with Cincinnati. But, pending Maryland or West Virginia, the winner of that game, especially with their defense, could give them a hard time, and I also think Notre Dame could give them a hard time.
All right. Well, we shall see, Hans. We shall see. Thanks again, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Once again, thanks everybody for listening. You're listening to the Gazette Radio Hour. Robert Patrick Lewis, John Rogers, Doug Sutton. Hopefully you're having a good time. We are out.